Hey everybody, welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. It is Friday, March 21st, and thank God it's Friday. It has been quite the week here at Big Play, guys. March Madness, day one in the books. Couple upsets, nothing crazy. We were talking pre-show, guys. The madness wasn't really there. It didn't feel like there were some good games, but there weren't any really crazy upsets. But I feel like if that was going to happen, it would be today anyway. Looking at the slate of games like Akron, Arizona, that'd be a fun one. Nothing crazy though, but it was still fun to watch the games.
Yeah, there were some moments. It was March moments for sure. I think you could go that way. There was when Clemson had that last 3 or 4 minutes when they were starting to hit every single three. That was a fun couple of minutes. I think Arkansas, Kansas, great game. Then the late slate, I was falling asleep towards the end. I'm not gonna lie and say that I stayed up to the end of it, but that Michigan game had a good finish as well. So there was a tiny bit of madness, but not a lot.
I was struggling during UC San Diego. The madness caught up to me. Not really just of the day, but really of the week. But yeah, obviously McNeese was the biggest headline that came out of yesterday. Thankfully, I was on the right side of history. I had McNeese money line outright, kind of as my biggest bet of the day. So I did okay in terms of the sports books. That made up for all the other parlays that I lost throughout the day. So later, we gotta identify some bets as I
Call
think
out the mic.
Three of us, are gonna get the day started here in the Big Play Lounge and bet on some of these games.
I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't get home till 6. Had a shower and everything. First game I was able to actually sit down and watch yesterday was the ending of Arkansas, Kansas. Hunter Dickinson is garbage, guys.
Yeah, that was
That's
bad.
so
That was bad. That was bad.
Everyone on Twitter is just absolutely flaming him. 5 years, 0 Final Four appearances, 2 schools, Michigan and Kansas, and just some other not great stats about Hunter Dickinson. I don't feel bad for the guy at all. I got to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, he's a college athlete, so I feel a little bit bad that he's getting as much drill as he is. But at the same time, now college athletes do get these NIL deals where I don't know what Hunter Dickinson made to get to Kansas, but it's probably a decent amount of money. Yeah, man. I mean, great night for LinkedIn if you're on Twitter, because that was the most LinkedIn has ever been tweeted about in one night.
Hunter Dickinson.
Congratulations to the folks at LinkedIn. That was they must love March Madness the more I think about it now,
Hunter
right?
Dickinson is #open to work.
Because I got bad news for our buddy
bad.
Caleb Love, but if he loses to Akron, he's going to get a couple of those too.
Yeah, what time's that game tonight? 7:30, I want to say.
Yeah, 7:30.
Oh, they got that prime time? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
yeah.
that's West. That makes sense.
Yeah, if it's in Seattle.
Let's see here. Akron, Arizona, 7:35, True TV. 14
how
and a
about
half.
True TV
True
getting a lot of
TV
run?
usually,
That's
you
Impractical
think of Impractical
Jokers, isn't it?
Year
Yeah.
round, I think, right?
Yeah.
But
That's what I immediately thought of was that.
that's the Upset Network too. That's where McNeese made their hay.
Is it really?
Yesterday? So be on the lookout for
Did
True
anybody
TV
get
today.
the chance? Like I said, I'll be honest. I completely fell asleep. I was not staying up for a 10 o'clock tip-off. I just wasn't doing it. St. John's, I see they dominated Omaha. Did anybody watch any of that
I
game?
watched a lot of that
I
game.
did,
It
yeah.
actually
How'd
was
those
really
Johnnies
close
look?
in the first half.
Was it? How'd they look?
Yeah.
Did they pull away or something?
Yeah, the second half was a blowout, from the rip. I want to say it was 36-30 going into halftime. Maybe then it was
St. John is the Rizzlers' prediction to cut down the nets. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, which is I love that.
that was the most perfect
That's
thing ever. Though.
perfect.
That's
Yeah.
what it was always
He
going to
also,
be. St. John's.
I
in
just
his
thought about it
bracket.
though. I think he did have Yale in his Final Four.
He did.
Oh, he did.
He did.
But he's McNeese State, doesn't he, in his Final
He
Four
does.
too?
He
Okay,
does.
so he's
He has
He
Make
could
sure
go
you're
3 for 4. He could go 3 for 4.
How'd you guys brackets do yesterday?
Not good. I'll be completely honest with you.
I'm good. I'm still alive.
Here's the thing. I don't really care these first rounds. It'd be nice to win, but at least I'm in the ESPN one. You get more points when you get the Sweet 16 right.
Yeah.
And the Elite.
Yeah.
And I'm, like I said, it determines my fantasy football order. So I'm the only one who had Houston winning. So if they win, I could care less what picks I get right, because I know if they win, I automatically get the first pick.
Okay, that's solid.
fair, because that's kind of how I am too. I'm the only person with Houston in my bracket challenge. So
Yeah.
How about our guys though? Yesterday, that was a blowout. Wasn't even close.
Yeah, that wasn't not close. The only game that I had wrong yesterday.
You only had one game
you went
wrong?
15
I
for
had
16?
two. I had UC San Diego, and then I had Dennis Gates in Missouri.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Poor Dennis
Missouri
Gates.
got waxed
But
too.
Yeah, but
I like them too.
the rest of them I had.
Like I said, I didn't stay up. So that UC San Diego Michigan game,
Yeah.
thank God I didn't stay up for it, because I would have been sweating it out. I have Michigan in my Final Four. So I would have been sweating that baby out. I woke up. First thing I checked this morning, I looked at the score. I saw they won by 3. I was like, thank God.
It was close.
You want to compare brackets, because the more and more I hear about our brackets, the more and more they seem a lot similar.
Really?
I didn't have them in the Final Four, but I had them going to the Elite Eight.
I'll pull mine up. The only thing is I had Louisville beating Creighton, and I also had Louisville knocking off Auburn.
So I was all over Kalkbrenner and Creighton. Those are my boys.
I should have known. It's like a whole team of seniors. Like, why would I?
They
bet
were all
against
good.
it?
They were good
And
last year
ACC's
too. They beat
ass.
Oregon in the Sweet 16, that crazy overtime game last
And
year.
Jack, can we talk about what happened yesterday in the lounge while Ryan was trying to produce Full Court Cleveland?
What happened?
The St. Mary's.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought something else. The way you worded it, like I thought something bad happened that I was forgetting about. Oh no. Yeah, guys. So how about this? We're just hanging out with Sam Amico, writer for Hoopswire, and Boobie Gibson, NBA legend, March Madness legend, which I didn't know actually until yesterday. Hit an iconic Elite Eight shot. We were sitting out there watching the early games, getting a feel for the day, getting those first couple of bets in, and you hear a couple of footsteps coming in. You hear some kids. Next thing you know, the Burke Lakefront Airport Lounge filled to the brim with kids running around, and the St. Mary's Gales wives and children were in the building at Burke Lakefront Airport. And let me tell you, we could not be more in on the Gales the rest of this tournament now. They're coming out from the West Coast. I think they were a little bit thrown off by the time difference, but the kids came in, looked around the studio, sat in the chairs, took a picture with Boobie, and we were talking to the wives as well. Super nice. So yeah, we're excited for this team.
Yeah, the wives of like the coaching staff, the athletic training staff,
and the associate head coach.
Head coach. Yeah, the big on the Gales. It's funny that you mentioned that they were thrown off by the time change. Like a couple of the they were like so confused. Like, what time is it here? What time is it back in California? I'm like, it's literally 3. Like, you literally just have to. And then like that's also too, believe it or not, how time works. In 3 hours from now, then back in California will be what time it presently is. Like that's how time works.
Also,
it'll always be 3.
Just
not
peep
the
my
stereotype,
bracket, Jack.
but we did have all hockey players too for those little Californian kids. You don't see that a ton.
Jack, my bracket is garbage. I'll be completely honest with you.
I went
Somebody
12
in my
to
group
16 yesterday.
My buddy Jason's still perfect somehow.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy. But let's see here. BYU beats VCU. Drake beat Missouri. UCLA, Utah State. Creighton obviously beat Louisville. And Georgia remains. My buddy called it a NASCAR school. What's going on with Kirby? Needs to get his guys. Stop crashing into buildings.
Yeah, that happened again. Yeah. What was the official headline on that? It was an offensive lineman, I believe.
I think. Let me look. He crashed into a
I think
it was an apartment building.
What they say in life about these kind of things is like once could be an accident, twice even maybe could be an accident. Really, for being honest, like circumstantial evidence, 3 times could be an accident. But when you have like your 17th, I believe,
it's
roughly,
a receiver. It's a receiver named Nitro though. Nitro Tuggle. I feel like if your name's Nitro,
yeah, that was
Nitro Tuggle.
Yeah,
what a name.
Yeah, as a receiver too, like come on, you know what you're signing up for when signing day comes around and Nitro Tuggle puts on the Bulldogs hat.
And again, I understand Uber can't do the sponsorship deal, but you'd have to think someone is eventually going to do a sponsorship deal with the Georgia football team to get kids around safe, right?
Can Allstate
I just don't think
Why
they
doesn't
can
an
lean into it that hard.
An insurance company?
What'd you say?
An insurance company. Like, can
or an
Allstate
insurance
do it?
company.
No, I'm being
or,
totally
or
honest.
bail
with you.
bonds.
I don't think anybody would lean into it. But I mean, it is definitely like you can't ignore it now.
Yeah, no, it's a pattern. All right, we got to take our first break. When we get back, Baylor, Mississippi State, first game on the slate today, 12:15.
Bear down.
I'm going to predict maybe an Akron upset. Thanks to John Fanta. We'll talk about that and more when we get back here on The Big Factor. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke. I said O'Rourke. Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. We are brought to you today and every day like we are by our great friends at Fairway Ford Ohio. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks, and they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealer. Do not let a short drive to Canfield prevent you from saving thousands, that's literally thousands of dollars on your new ride. Fairway Ford is the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, lowest pricing, same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com. That's fairwayfordohio.com. All right, guys, I mentioned the first game on today's slate, day 2 of March Madness, round of 64. Baylor, Mississippi State, followed by Robert Morris, Alabama, Lipscomb, Iowa State. Guys, what game are you most looking forward to on today's slate?
The whole slate or in the early part? I like to group it into quadrants. I got to get through the day. You know, there's too many games to just look at all 16.
Okay, then it looks like there's, 3-4 games in the first quadrant?
In Q1 today, Ryan, absolutely it's going to be the Baylor Bears and VJ Edgecombe. That's the team to look out for and watch because I have them winning in round 2, knocking down a 1 seed. I want to say it's Florida, maybe. Who's with them out there? Would you know, Ryan? Do you have a bracket in front of you? I think I had him over Florida. But regardless, I do love VJ Edgecombe. He's projected to be a top 10 pick in the NBA draft. And hey, if you have a good tournament, like John Morant was kind of hanging out around that 10 range, you move up and boom.
It'd be Duke.
It'd be Duke.
Oh, Duke. Oh, I love it. Yeah, let's do it. I love it. Give me Baylor all weekend long.
Nick, what are you most looking forward to?
Jacking on Baylor. That's a good question. I'm looking forward probably the most to this New Mexico Lobos versus Marquette game
be so fun.
Later tonight. I think Jack has talked me into the Lobos.
Can both Patinos move on?
Yeah,
that'd be a cool story.
It would be a cool story if they both moved on. How about like again, another late one, but 9:45. I think Xavier at Illinois could be a lot of fun.
There's a good 10 o'clock I think tonight too.
Liberty,
5-12.
Liberty, Oregon.
Yes, that's gonna be really good because I think Liberty shoots the 3 crazy.
And then
I have Liberty winning.
And then Bryant and Michigan State.
Gab Gowdy, who was right on her hashtag dog of the day yesterday, did have that Bryant.
She's got Bryant.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, January, February Izzo. You can never forget that.
Right. I'm not gonna go against Michigan State today. The Akron game is really what we got to talk about at 7:30.
That's definitely the one I'm most looking forward to. 14.5-point spread, but
move.
I've heard multiple people say this is the upset of today, is 13 Akron over 4 Arizona. I mean, what am I missing though? Like, obviously, I don't know too much about Akron basketball team. Like, they barely beat Miami of Ohio. They had to do the comeback, and you saw the floater at the end to get to the dance. What's the hoopla about Akron?
I don't know if it's, and again, I'm not a college basketball expert by any means. I don't think it's the hoopla around Akron as much as it is the inconsistency. I think it's the inconsistency of Arizona. It's kind of been what's followed Caleb Love his whole college career. Is everyone knows when Caleb Love is playing his best basketball, he looks like a guy who's going to go change around the Washington Wizards or some shit like that. Like, he looks like he's a generational prospect. But when Caleb Love is not on, it can get really, really ugly. Maybe like a, dare I say, a Karis LeVert type of comparison for a guy like Caleb Love. So I think that's kind of where the issue comes in. Like, I think John Fanta was talking about it, like, force that kid to be honed in on the game the whole entire time, like, use up his energy, expend a bit on defense, and you never know what's going to happen when he has to exert it back on offense.
So North Carolina, Ole Miss, 405, the whole debate whether North Carolina shouldn't even been in the tournament. I think they were 1-9 against the field. That's the teams in the tournament. They're 2-10, excuse me. One of the wins was against 16-seed American.
And then the other one was UCLA, and that was all the way back before Christmas.
And they're favored against Ole Miss.
Yeah,
this is one I have Ole Miss winning this game and the next game on my bracket, and it's just because I'm a contrarian. Every single person I've heard has taken North Carolina. I haven't heard a word about Ole Miss, and there's a reason you gotta get the 6th seed, especially playing in a tough SEC conference. 14 teams make the tournament. Like, that's no slouch to get a 6th seed. I like them, and then they're gonna have an interesting matchup with Iowa State in round 2 if they beat Lipscomb.
How big of a dog are they, Ryan? Ole Miss?
Just 1.5. So, I mean,
toddy.
Total 155. There hasn't been, we've only had 1 day of games in March Madness so far, and maybe today will be the start of it with what I'm about to say, but we haven't had that player yet, like that Jack Eichel, the Doug Edert yet. It's been the funniest thing about it is, and maybe this will just be the theme throughout the whole tournament, is it's been Amir Khan.
It's
been Aura Khan. He's on a generational run.
How many sponsors does that guy have?
A lot.
Great agent.
If
He's
you guys
doing
saw
incredible.
Fanta interviewed him in the
And they
locker
had
room.
Buffalo Wild Wings on the
That locker
speaker.
room is just full of goobers. Like they were
Yeah.
just messing around with Amir Khan. Like they were like, "Don't talk to me, talk to Amir Khan." He had the Buffalo Wild Wings boombox. Crazy.
And he said it was resting.
Yeah, he said we
There
can't
was
play
no
it right
There
now.
were no music. Their fans was like, why isn't it on? And he said it's resting.
Yeah, I got 2 picks for you for the player where because Cinderella Man is what we'll call it, because that's the guy who everyone looks to, you iconic moment every single year, you remember it. If it's not VJ Edgecombe, we've talked about him on the show before. Nick, I've been trying to get you on that Lobo Kool-Aid. It's going to be Donovan Dent, who's playing here in Cleveland, Ohio. Such a cool story. The kid's averaged over 20 and I believe 6 a game this season. And they've got a chance to get out of Cleveland, I think, dude. I really do. And if it's not Donovan Dent, it might be Cam Jones, who he's matched up against on Marquette. There's going to be a really fun guard matchup in Cleveland tonight.
But it's got to be a guy that like will be a plumber in 5 years. Like VJ Edgecombe is going to the league, or
I
somebody
don't know. Like
that's
John
going
Morant was the guy the 1 year, and he did pretty well for
And
himself.
Kemba,
Yeah, Kemba was the guy. You don't have to be a total plug. I think you can be someone of skill.
Plug.
How about the 2 o'clock, man? Memphis is beat up. Like everybody's betting Colorado State.
I think I have Colorado State.
They are another team
Colorado
that has
State's
a
a-
really
Penny's
good
still the
guard.
coach for Memphis, do we know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in on Penny then.
Colorado State's
They're beat up though. Jack.
Colorado State's favorited by 2.5 in that game.
I will
they're
take
the
a
favorite.
dog who's a 5 or 6 every day of the week if you can. I mean,
Mem-
like
Memphis money line later could be a Mr. Beast mega max.
Yeah, we gotta figure out something that we're gonna just put an absolute house on.
Everybody, like my friend group today was saying Lipscomb.
Dude, everyone's saying that. You know what no one is saying right now? Robert Morris against Alabama. I have not heard one person in the country bring up Bobby Moe in this one. Going down in Cleveland. You know Cleveland's going to have the biggest upset of the weekend, right?
It is funny you say that. It is on True TV.
And it's...
The Upset Network.
Oh!
The Upset
And
Network.
they're going crazy in Moon Township. The Colonials have
Guys,
knocked off.
I know we said we were going to get pizza and order it here. Should we just walk over to the stadium?
Dude, can we? I don't see why not.
Let's take a break and figure that out.
Yeah.
Next on the Big Factor.
Yeah, actually, it is time for a break, though. When we get back,
We might have tickets to the game 1 of the NCAA
We might be
tournament.
going to bet on Lipscomb.
and I'll be completely honest with you guys, next segment, Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, I have really no idea. I know there's history. Obviously, Selena used to date Justin, but there's like a chapter, I guess, in their drama. Jack, you don't really know. Nick's going to fill us in.
It's not really a chapter. It's just there's
Story?
like somebody finally took the time to put the whole story together
Pen to paper
Okay.
and
You know,
sit
it-
down, yeah.
in a way that's digestible for everyone. And I think it made the internet sit back this week and say, actually, what the hell is going on?
All right, well, we'll talk about that when we get back here on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone. It is time to unveil the drama between the
Yeah,
Bieber clan
no
and the
claps for
Gomez
this.
clan. No claps for this, Nick. Lay it all out for me.
All right, so how like are you guys completely in the dark on this? Like about
No,
as
Justin
in the
dated
dark as
Selena
you?
back in the day.
So Justin Bieber dated Selena Gomez
That's about
back in the
to
day.
the extent that I know.
Here's the thing. Hailey Bieber has Hailey Baldwin,
Daughter of Alec.
daughter of Alec Baldwin.
Well, is it the daughter of Alec or is it the daughter of Stephen Baldwin?
It's Steven.
right.
Oh, it is Steve.
Yeah, not
Alec.
So
It's the-
niece
it's
of
the-
Alec. Niece of Alec.
Correct.
Yes.
Here's the thing though. It was a close niece. So it wasn't like it was a
Okay,
distant niece. She was in the Hollywood public sphere as Justin Bieber was exploding
So she's a model, correct? Or
throughout our
am I
childhood.
making that up?
I think loosely.
Okay.
I think the way that the internet has framed this entire thing is that she was mostly around because of her uncle.
Right.
So everything and anything that Justin Bieber was at, and there's photographic evidence. A young Hailey Baldwin was there in the background.
How old's Hailey compared to Justin? Do we know?
A couple years younger.
Okay.
So I mean,
Selena's older, correct?
Correct. And
Okay.
we have to remember though, at the time, it's super weird because at the time that Justin Bieber like exploded, he's probably only 14, 15,
Right.
meaning that she's
in
12,
diapers, yeah.
11. So
3 years younger. She's 3 years younger.
3 years younger? Okay.
So here's like what everybody's saying about this is that Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber, that it was an arranged marriage.
Oh, wow.
And what's scary about it is they've both made jokes publicly in interviews saying it was an arranged marriage. Hailey Bieber has said it kind of not so jokingly, and Justin Bieber said it on Ellen, and he said, now that I think of all of the times that she was around, this was like an arranged marriage. So somebody on TikTok put together a 7-part series going through all of the weird intricacies and similarities of honestly some pretty crazy stuff. There's like, and a lot of this, some of this, I should say, is alleged. It's alleged that Hailey Baldwin was so obsessed with Justin Bieber. There was this big Instagram fan page for Justin Bieber that would kind of follow his whereabouts like a paparazzi would and post about where he was. Hailey Baldwin would DM this account and say what hotels he's staying at in this city, and she would book the same hotel. And then same with like the Never Say Never movie. Remember that when that came out? Like she's like, there's a photo of him with Selena Gomez, and like in the background you could see Hailey Baldwin like looking at them. And there's like at a sushi restaurant, like Justin Bieber's just there by himself, and this is when he's a little bit older, like got some of the tattoos going on. She's just at a table by herself, like way in the background of the photo. So there's some substantial evidence that she was stalking Justin Bieber. And then there's a lot of similarities of her copying Selena Gomez, like while they were dating and still currently. I guess Justin had gotten Selena, like the most damning, I would say, like of this, Justin had gotten Selena a ring with a J on it, which is, his first initial. Okay. Hailey got the same J tattooed on her ring finger,
Like same font?
like the same exact font, spitting image of the font tattooed. And then you could look, like there's countless examples going around TikTok of like they'll do the same poses, and you would think like, okay, like a girl posing, like when Cam was telling me some of this stuff, I'm like, okay, well, like you and your friends have some of the same like poses on social media when you're standing in photos, but like it's weird, like the hands under the chin, like, and then like the next day Hailey would post that. Like it was like some for sure stalking going on, and then for sure a ton of copying. Like Selena Gomez launched a cooking show, like 3 weeks later Hailey Baldwin comes out and she's like, I'm doing my own YouTube cooking show. So like there's a lot of weird stuff with it.
So it sounds like Hailey Baldwin, obsessive stalker to Justin Bieber.
Yep, got through.
Wants to be everything that Selena was. So like,
how about this? She leveraged like the dad or like the uncle's relationship with the Kardashians play a role in this, and the Jenners. And the Jenners took Selena Gomez on this like international vacation where she was out of town for months, and that's when Hailey really like got to slide through and have like private time with Justin, because like the Jenners listened to Hailey, who got them to take Selena out of the country so she could have her alone time with Justin. Like it's bizarre.
So like it'd be one thing, like you said, they came up on the scene, Justin was probably 12, 13, 14, like
yeah. So and that's
that would
another
have
crazy,
made
this is decades in the works.
Right, because that would have made Hailey like 11. So it's like, I mean, a lot of girls were obsessed with Justin Bieber, but like she obviously has the resources, the needs, the family relations.
Yeah.
But then it didn't fade away. Like we've all had crushes, but it didn't fade away.
No.
In this case.
No.
And even when you're getting to your frontal lobe developing, you're still being weird about it.
In fact, it intensified, I'd argue. Like, she
Right.
got to the point of
So then
where
I-
she could
so-
get a tattoo, and she tattooed the same
They
exact
already
ring.
eloped.
So then
Yeah.
I ask, Justin Bieber, like, did he's fine? He went to her knowing she was like an obsessive stalker?
Well, this is my question too, because when you talk about arranged marriages, like the first place my head pops is like ESPN trade notif, like 45 goats for whoever, like back in the day, you know, like in the Middle Age times or whatever. So it's more so like a social experiment than an arranged marriage, kind of, right? Like they happen to throw her in. Like, do you think the parents are involved in this, or do you think they were like just put him in the same area enough times and something will happen? Two attractive people, two famous families, whatever.
I think it's probably maybe that.
Okay.
How about this though? So here's the
A little
thing.
less fucked up. then.
To Ryan's question of like, so Justin Bieber's like cool with this, and again, this is alleged, so I don't know how deep this is, like how real this is. But there's kind of like I'm saying, there's a lot of parallels that would make you think that it's real. It's said, it's alleged that on Justin's wedding day with Hailey, he called and texted Selena Gomez
Bro.
23 times.
23?
And
Andy?
so Selena Gomez writes a song called Ring, which is
Yeah.
a song called Ring about getting married. And she said, like, yeah, I got the messages, all 23, like, and made a like Michael Jordan GOAT bar after, like, yeah, I got the messages, all 23, Michael Jordan, I'm the GOAT. Like,
So is Justin like stuck in this marriage or something?
it seems that way.
So why did he break up with Selena in the first place? Does anybody know that?
I don't know. I think
I'll
probably
sleuth on that.
Well,
I'll sleuth
first of
on
all, was
that.
it Justin Bieber broke up with Selena, or did Selena break up with Justin Bieber?
if memory serves, I think it was kind of like mutual.
That's what they always say, though.
Yeah, I think
This
with
has some
celebrities,
deep
you never really
Hollywood
know.
A minor type stuff going on to it. Just like the overall vibe of this. Because once the Kardashians got involved, that's how you know weird stuff's happening.
Well, the
So-
thing, they were all the weird part about it, and again, it does go to show they were all underage. So it's like, you know, it would be like our, you know, middle school, high school drama, but we're all multi-millionaires. Our parents are billionaires in a lot of cases, and we're running in these A-list publicized Hollywood circles where Hailey had the ability to DM, you know, this fan account as somewhat of a name herself and get his location, because these other people were doing the legwork for her and stalking him and following him around.
Okay, so I have a bunch of questions now here. So 3 breakups.
I wish Cam would have called into
Yeah.
the show today, because she could have answered maybe some of these, but
They
I feel
broke
like
up
we're doing a
3
good job
times
filling in the gaps.
in 2012, 2014, and 2018. So it's kind of like how the Guardians go to the playoffs in every even-numbered year, but not the odd-numbered years. So it's a little bit like that. So they would break up every even year. Then they stopped. But let me ask you this now. So one of my favorite Justin Bieber songs personally is Love Yourself. Was that not written about Selena Gomez? Like, I was always under the guise that was about Selena.
Well, when did that come out?
But correct me if I'm wrong. That's a song like he's saying like this woman's bad.
Yes. No, that's why I'm asking, because I thought it was
Right.
about Selena, and it was saying, like, it's because it's like the...
That came out in 2015.
And does there any... And it would have been right after the breakup, so yeah. He made a whole song, and I believe it's about her saying that he doesn't love her.
Did Selena do him dirty or something?
There's too many breakups to keep track. We need Cam.
Yeah.
Can we batline
All right,
Cam?
my
That's-
question
that's
is,
where I-
We'll call her and see if she answers on the
if
show.
you're about to get married, let's say you're about to get married to your about to be wife,
Yeah.
and you find out on the wedding day they called your ex 23 times. You're calling off the marriage.
Not
right?
just your ex.
Absolutely, you're calling it off.
Not just your ex.
Selena friggin' Gomez. Yeah.
You're calling it off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And what does Benny Blanco think about all this?
So now that this
You know?
this like TikTok, you know, like that this 7-part TikTok series, which okay is kind of crazy that like TikTok's blowing up. That like usually, you know, a series you're talking about like Netflix or like anyhow, 7-part TikTok series that blew up. According to like this morning's news, if you look up Hailey Bieber, she's like contemplating legal action as a result of all of this going public. I don't know what legal action you can really pursue because it is all alleged. And then the facts that are there and that are laid out, like, hey, is this you at age 13, you know, in the sushi restaurant where he is at, and you're at a table by yourself. Yes, okay, well, that's just a picture that was online, and you happen to be in the background. Like,
well, the crazy part about that too is when you bring up her age of being 13 at the time, you can't get places by yourself at 13. So somebody was, you know what I mean?
I mean,
that's
you can't
true.
for Baldwin, yeah.
Like, somebody. I'm sure she had a private
though.
driver. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have somebody that's helping you get to these places, helping you. You can't book a hotel room by yourself at 13.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, the Baldwin family's got it. And I did figure out Love Yourself is allegedly about Selena Gomez, according to Google. So
Okay.
that does add one more layer into it now.
Interesting.
Or maybe he was forced to put that out. Industry plant?
So have
mark?
you guys ever seen or heard of the show The Idol?
I have not.
on
personally.
I've
HBO?
heard of it. I've never seen it.
Okay, it's basically about like this girl who blows up in like the Hollywood scene, just deals with all the pressures and whatnot. And basically they say it's about Selena Gomez. This is weird. So it sounds like, breaking it down, Hailey Baldwin, psychopath, Justin Bieber, Selena
Trapped.
Gomez probably were supposed to be together.
Justin Bieber, Selena. I've
feel
said
bad for
that.
Benny Blanco, man.
I've said that from the jump. How about this for like tinfoil hat conspiracy? I can't believe and
allegations.
maybe somebody
Haven't made one
Friday
yet. Have not
allegations
made one
back.
yet.
How about this and like maybe I'm just like I'm too fringe, you know, I'm not so in the weeds on this, like I'm too fringe, so maybe somebody else has said this. Tinfoil hat. What if it's Selena Gomez putting all of this out now?
Oh, so you think we got like a Blake Lively and the director of that movie?
Like, what if she's putting all of
Baldoni?
this
Yeah.
out? Like, hey, like
Then Benny got to dip out of there.
we were meant to be.
I feel so bad for Benny in this, man. He's getting dragged.
It's like we were meant to be. Like, I think Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez probably were meant to be together, and then you know it was just too on again, off again. They were going through complex pieces and parts of their lives, and this girl that had stalked and manipulated pretty much everybody involved in the inner circle came in, shot her shot, and at a vulnerable moment, he was able to.
Do Justin and Hailey have a kid together?
Do Justin and Hailey have a kid?
I can hop on
together?
Google for that. I don't believe so. I feel like we know if
No.
there was a Justin. There'd be a great
Justin and
album out if
Haley,
Justin Bieber had a
yes.
kid.
Justin
they
Bieber and
do?
Haley have a kid.
Is
yeah.
that not what I said? Justin and Hailey?
I wasn't paying attention because we got some clown trying to bust into the studio.
They do have a kid.
They do, yeah.
Just
Justin
one?
and Haley do, yeah. I think just one.
And Benny and Selena just got married, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So
Or
I don't think they
engaged?
did get married.
Or
Oh, they're not?
engaged?
they're at least engaged.
They got to be at least engaged.
I think
yeah.
they're engaged.
I mean, it's just what a weird story all the way around. I don't even know if I might take Haley's side in this. You know, I think she was a little kid. She probably just had an obsession with Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
like
but
every
the
other
thing is,
girl.
it didn't go away. Like, we've all had obsessions when we were younger.
But they're married, so
but
like
you-
there has to be some level of.
I don't know, man. My serious like tinfoil conspiracy on this is that like Selena put this out. I'm gonna stick with this. Like Selena's putting all this out. She's gonna she's hoping that this can free Justin from the shackles of Hailey Baldwin, and then they're gonna wind up together.
Benny's heart's going to be
Well,
broken.
we're gonna have to get Benny on the show.
And then
to talk
maybe
about it,
Benny and Haley could, and then that's like the you know the
And Benny makes some great music. There's gonna be something good coming
that's
out of
like
it.
the sloppy second, you know,
Yeah.
like they could have each other.
You do
and
make
then-
your best music when you're heartbroken.
Yeah,
Very true.
Benny Blanco. Watch out. Could be standing up at the Grammys next year.
I don't think
What
Hailey
a,
would
what
go
an
for
odd
Benny, though.
Story though.
No offense to
It's
Benny.
an odd story, no doubt. What's this guy doing
Yeah, I don't
outside
know.
of the studio? Go away.
What do we do?
I don't know.
Maybe he hears us and wants to fill us in on the.
Oh,
on
you
the
could know.
yeah
On the Hailey
yeah,
Bieber.
like, but don't just like stand here like menacingly almost.
I always feel very threatened because like you're live on air. You can't really do
That's
anything.
what
There's
I'm
just someone
saying.
just looking at you.
All right, we got to take a break. Hopefully, we come back and we're still alive. Friday
Hopefully.
Fantasy Draft, March Madness edition. We'll talk about it when we get back here on the Big Factor. we'll get down to the bottom of this. Maybe in a couple of years, everything will come to light. We'll find out who the psychopath is. If it's Selena, if it's Hailey. What if Justin is somehow putting all this together? What if it's Benny who did it to get with Selena?
What if it's Alec?
Well, he's got more to deal with.
He's got bigger fish to fry than all this.
All right, Friday Fantasy Draft, March Madness edition, but it's not exactly, we're not picking teams or anything, right? Jack, can you explain this for us?
Yeah, just things. Like things in the air as March Madness goes on, whether it's activities, things that you can call out in a game or signal, whatever. Just the general March Madness experience. Like, what are the things that make March March?
Fair enough. Okay, so how are we deciding? It never fails, guys. It never fails. How are we deciding who picks first?
Who came in second? I came in last week. So whoever came behind Gab.
Well, Gab was
first.
Who came in second between you two? Do you know?
I want to say me. I mean, I can look real quick.
Well, let's go with you. We'll go with you for the sake of.
And then you came in last, Jack.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I'm gonna pick because I don't think I'm gonna get this on the swing around. I think it'll be taken.
Did you text the St. Mary Gales about trying to get in there?
Today?
Yeah.
I did not text today.
Okay.
Dude, that'd be so cool if we get in there.
Should I shoot her a text?
Yeah.
What's the worst you can say now?
Well, yeah,
Right.
that's actually the worst you could say.
I'm gonna go with.
Pulled up right now.
I'm gonna go with March Madness, the song by Future.
That's a good one.
Because I'm not gonna get that on the comeback. No way. So I got to take that first overall.
I like that pick.
Okay. I'll go with the March Madness intro music, the theme music. It comes around once a year. Then they go to.
So are we including that with One Shining Moment?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it takes the big camera kind of pans to the studio desk, and then you just know it's March. You're buckled on your couch. You're ready to watch some games, bet on some games.
Jack.
So I'll go with the jingle that starts the whole thing.
I got two here. First one, we're going to go with forgetting to place your bet and then waiting for that team to go down early and then betting on them live. I think that's a tradition that a lot of people have in March Madness. That's a school of thought for betting in general for some people, is to get a feel of the game first. Some people don't even bet before the game starts.
That would have been the McNeese special yesterday, no?
That can go in any game.
Right.
Definitely would apply to that game. But you could. Yeah, I think most games that could happen at some point in time. And on the loop around, gosh, I think it's going to be that first time during March Madness that large food order that everyone put in gets there. Like that moment when you're sitting on the couch, you're like, oh, can I really do this for 14 hours or whatever? And that pizza gets there, and it's just that second breath of life. I love it.
That's a good one. All right, Snake, coming around back to me. I'll stay in the food category, and I thought about making this my first round pick, and when you were going on about food, I was getting a little nervous. I'll go with Shamrock Shakes. This time of year where you're the week after St. Patrick's Day, so you know that they're going to go away at some point. But usually this week, every year, the weather's starting to come around, you could still get a Shamrock Shake. March Madness games are on. So I'm going to go with Shamrock Shake. I will definitely be devouring one of those today.
All right, so I got back-to-back, right?
That's how Snake works, yeah.
Yeah. So I got March Madness, the song by Future. I'm going to go... It's the perfect time where people take half days at work.
Yeah.
It's a perfect excuse to take a half day at work. And then my last pick, I'll just do the aspect of every year some guy becomes a Cinderella story. Like this, just you play for a college that nobody's heard of. You barely play sometimes, but you get in there, you get hot like Jack Eichel. Next thing you know, you get NIL endorsements. Yeah. You become a social media star. And your life has changed just by one game. Your life's changed.
I like that. I'll stay in the realm of life changing, but I'm gonna go life changing. Just the hope that surrounds gambling and all aspects of gambling on March Madness. Currently today, to give you guys a look, I've got my bracket pools going, which is for, first place gets a lump sum of a couple $100, where everybody throws $20 in for, 2 brackets. And then if your bracket wins, you get a lump sum, couple $100. Then you got your parlays, and you're putting together plus 1,000 leg parlays every single day, trying to hit all these games and get all these spreads and stuff correct. And then this year is my second year ever doing squares. So just the hope that you could you could get hot at the right time with your bets, with your bracket, and you could win a ton of money in March. It's never happened to me like individually, so that's why this is my last pick. But just the hope that surrounds this week every year where there's so many games, the opportunity is just right there. Never happened to me, but I'm going to go with just the idea of getting rich off of gambling this week feels prominent. Like this week is similar in a lot of ways to like week 1 of the NFL season, opening day where, opening days, where the first 2 days of MLB, all the teams are in action. Like just the idea of getting rich around March betting on sports is so right there.
Jack, final pick of the draft.
And real quick, before we even get here, let me just say that I'm so excited. Like, all of these are such good picks. It's the best time of the year. I mean, this is a draft everyone should win, in my opinion. For me, the last one, it's got to be that moment. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just like, I'm thinking about too much of watching in a big group setting. I think that's just where I associate my head with March Madness. But there's that moment over weekend number 1. It's not even in the first round always. But there's a moment where everyone you're watching with, who you're going to watch a bunch of the games with, you find your team. You find the team who whether it's betting or just rooting interest, whatever. Like, you find that team who like, okay, this is our guys for March now. Like, we've watched through enough games. This is a team that spoke to us. We happen to be watching when they hit 3 threes in a row or whatever it is. You got your team the rest of March. I love that moment.
I think this year that's got to be St. John's. Like, I don't think anybody would be mad if St. John's ran the table and won the whole thing.
Would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves St. John's. I mean, for us, Ryan, I think we kind of on the big factor of a mini little Houston connection going right now. I think we're looking for the Cougs to recreate some Phi Slamma Jamma. But yeah, there's some fun teams all over. And let me tell you, after watching Arkansas last night, I love Arkansas.
Love me some Cougars.
Woo Pig Suey.
All right, we got to head out of here. March Madness Day 2, about to tip off. First game. Baylor, Baylor, Mississippi State, right?
Yeah.
And then Akron, Nick, you told me to ask you this today.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be hate betting Akron, Arizona minus the 14.5?
I don't know, man. I feel like we got to see how the day goes.
It's a lot of points, man.
If I'm behind in my bets though, like, am I going to do the thing? Here's what I fear. Here's what I don't want to happen.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
I don't want to get talked into betting Akron money line and being like a Kent State graduate who has to cheer for Akron and then be pissed off when they get steamrolled because I lost all my bets throughout the day and I'm chasing a 7-1 underdog on the money line outright. So Ryan, maybe you guys after the show, like after the music plays and we wrap this thing up, like maybe you guys have to like sit me down in one of those chairs out there, strap me down, and force me to bet Arizona minus the points, and just take Arizona in a blowout fashion because that is what I want to do. I'm just afraid as the day unfolds, all my friends graduated from Akron. I'm gonna get suckered into betting on Akron, and I don't want to do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know which way I would lean either with the points, to be honest with you. I don't know enough about Akron. Like, straight up, I just don't know enough about Akron.
I don't know enough about college basketball.
And 14.5 is a big number.
And
it's not like people are like, people are like, just bet Akron plus the points. So people are picking Akron to win straight up. Even John Fanta picked them to
I think
win.
the best middle ground you could find is maybe just that's a teaser type
Maybe
of
just
game
do Arizona minus 7.5 an alt spread or something.
That might be like a 2-team teaser.
Then I need to
type.
throw it in a parlay.
Like, everyone's talking about Lipscomb too. Like, maybe you buy a couple points on Lipscomb, you buy a couple points on Akron, and you try and make out even odds. I think that's the closest you're going to get to betting on Akron.
All right.
Fair enough.
We got a game plan.
Well, we'll either be in the Burke Lounge or, if we get lucky,
at the stadium.
at Rocket Arena.
Yeah, one of the two.
Boots on the ground. That'd be fun. All right, we got to head out of here. Everybody enjoy day 2 of March Madness. Keep those brackets clean, much cleaner than mine.
Don't get busted.
And we'll talk to you Monday. I almost said same people, same time tomorrow. Same people, same time Monday. Everybody.
We should decide right now though. Like, let's pick a 14 through 16, and if they win, we all bet on them. We do an emergency show before they play in the round of 32.
All right, I'll go Lipscomb.
I'm not doing an emergency show.
No emergency show. Never mind.
Nick hates
See you
that
Monday.
idea. Nick hates a lot of Jack ideas. See ya.
He does.